What's up, everybody? How's everybody feeling? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling great? The real question is, are you feeling fantastic? Well, great. It's going to be even more exciting because I'd like to welcome our very special guest, Mike Mitchell. Please. Here's a mic.
What's up?
For you.
What's up, Comic-Con? How's everybody doing? Good? Hey, Van. What's up, buddy?
Mike, you do all sorts of things.
I do a lot of different things, none of them really great. I have a podcast called Dope Boys, which is a food podcast, which is what someone screamed out about earlier.
Yay!
And it's about, we review fast food and chain restaurants. So this is better food than I usually eat, so this will be great.
Well, you haven't seen it yet, so
Yeah,
we'll see how that goes. Also, please give a round of applause to our very brave food testers. Hello, food testers. So, what is Eat the Universe? Eat the Universe is a pretty fun show that we do. It appears every other Tuesday on Marvel.com and on YouTube. And it is basically the Marvel cooking show. It's so crazy that I get to be the chef of heroes and also the hero of chefs. That was a really great thing to put on my resume. It's really great. We take superheroes, supervillains, characters of all kinds, and then we make food that is inspired by them. So,
I love it.
Are you a Fantastic Four fan?
I am a Fantastic Four fan, and I'm familiar with them, but they also gave a printout of who they are for me. That is the thing I know. I know that. I know that much.
As we play a guessing game to see what characters are inspired by each ingredient, at least you know you have a 25% chance of getting it right.
Yes, 100%. I think I'm going to get it. I think I'm going to get them all right.
All right, fantastic. Well, before we dive into the cooking, while I set out my mise en place, we're going to take a quick look at the next episode, which features Martellus Bennett, an NFL player and very tall person.
Justin Warner here with Martellus Bennett, and today we're going to eat the universe. That was good.
Yum.
Today, I'm gonna make a Black Panther-inspired dish. The thing that I love about this dish, it's called akabenzi, which to me is a very fun word to say.
It is. Akabenzi sounds like something that would clear you up if you have sinuses.
Right?
Yes.
Give me some akabenzi. So we've marinated these pork ribs. We're gonna put them into a Dutch oven.
Oh, this is the Dutch oven, the actual pot.
Indeed.
Oh,
Nice.
this is a nice pot too.
All right, I'm gonna put these ribs in there.
Let me do it.
Yeah?
Man, this is pretty fun. There we go. We get some of that in there too.
Beautiful. And I'll tell you what.
What is that?
This is just water.
This is just good old water.
Good old water. So that's 2 cups, right?
I have no idea.
And so then I'm gonna put this in a low and slow oven. So like 250 for like 3.5 hours. Or use a pressure cooker. It'll take about 25 minutes.
And if you can't handle the pressure, put it in the oven.
I'm gonna put this in the oven.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah!
Hey, thanks, everybody. That was so much fun to make. You got to check out the full episode. It should be out next Tuesday. Joining us on stage is the human mic stand, Trent.
What's up, Trent?
So when I'm using both of my hands, hopefully Trent will be able to swing in. A couple things. In my line of business, when you're up here presenting, talking about food, one of the things that we lean on sometimes too heavily is crutch words. For example, delicious, great, good, nice. One of my least favorite words, nice.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
It's not a compliment. No, it's
Right?
bad. Yeah.
But today we're going to lean into crutch words, and everything that we do today is going to be...
Fantastic.
Yes! Wow, somebody already
works.
primed you all? Fantastic. This is going to be great. All right. We also have these limited edition Eat the Universe spoons. And they are so limited edition that I've only been given one. And so we're going to use this spoon to make a bunch of stuff up here. But if we see very enthusiastic people that are displaying fantastic fandoms, we're going to say, spoon them.
Spoon them.
And I'm looking at you right there, right there.
You waved your hands enough that it worked.
All right, so for our first ingredient, all right, Trent, now's your time to shine.
Trent, will you also hold my microphone just because I'm lazy? No, I'm not going to do that to you.
So for our first ingredient, we've got some cheese.
I love it.
It's mozzarella cheese, because we're going to make a Fantastic Four caprese salad. Can anyone guess? Well, I tell you what. Can you guess?
Yeah.
Which member of the Fantastic Four this represents?
I'm going to say it's Mr. Fantastic, right? The stretch of the cheese. Thank you. The stretch
Spoon
of...
him! Spoon him!
Spoon him! Spoon him! It's Reed Richards, right?
Yes.
It's the stretch of the cheese.
Exactly.
Stretched, right?
So when you're making mozzarella, the curds have to be stretched, and you should Google it if you're into like like fun machine videos, where you get to watch stuff stretch. You know, like the taffy makers that you see at the beach.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like that.
Oh, I love that.
So-
I want to get under one of those things.
What would the Fantastic Four be without the color blue?
Nothing. That's why I wore this terrible golf shirt that I'm wearing.
I kind of like it. What is that? What animal
It's
is
like a
that on
half
there?
Fantastic Four outfit, yeah.
I love it.
It's a little elk.
So the problem, though, when you're making blue food is that not many foods are actually blue. They get called
Yeah.
blue, like, for example, the blueberry.
Yes.
But if you mash it up, it's like purpley.
It's purple, yes.
Enter my good friend, spirulina.
Wow.
So spirulina, and this is some pretty remarkable stuff,
Oh, that's crazy.
is blue. At least this variety of it. And it smells great.
Is that a lie?
Slightly. But what this is going to do is not only make our food blue, but it's also going to add some umami to this. And umami is kind of like this secret flavor that chefs love to rant on and on about.
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, I think umami is fantastic.
Spoon
Y'all were waiting
him.
for it.
Spoon him.
Spoon them. All right, here, mash this up.
Mash it up?
Yeah.
Can I mash up the cheese too?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, great.
Just make it blue.
All right,
All right,
perfect.
and while you're doing
Oh,
that,
I'm doing bad already.
here, hold this mic, Trent, if you don't mind. And then I'll do
You
this.
gotta do it. I'm sorry.
And then I'll. Who knew that you're gonna have to do double duty? And then while you're doing that, I will ask you a question. And that question is: I think that the Fantastic. Y'all really want the spoons? Just disperse
Spoon
the
them both, I
spoons
say.
at this point. The thing about the heroes that we're talking about is that they are a family. So I'd like to know, what would your family's dynamic be if they were superheroes?
If my family was superheroes?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I mean, I would be the Thing, I believe, if I was any superhero.
Wait, why is that? You
Just
seem
because I look like the Thing.
I don't know. I mean, you're definitely like.
I'd be the lazy, the non-strong Thing.
Okay.
My family, I don't know. What's the most basic who's the most basic superheroes? Like, what's a superhero that doesn't really do much?
I mean, that's a good question. I don't.
Who?
I don't know.
Anyone have an answer? Van?
Yeah, there you go.
Whatever that guy said.
Fantastic.
My mom is the matriarch. I don't know.
Okay, they are officially going to be the judges of Spoondom. You're doing a great job.
Oh, they just want spoons. I get it.
Can I show off how blue that is?
It looks immediately less appetizing than it did 5 seconds ago.
But 100%, we have the official palette.
It's blue now, though. Yes.
Right? Look at that.
We got it.
How exciting is that? All right, so let's move on to our next ingredient, Trent, which is a little rough on the outside. I really honestly don't know what happened here. And now they charge more for this and call it an heirloom, but it actually is. And this is honestly what tomatoes really looked like before we kind of homogenized them.
Yeah.
So a little rough on the outside.
It looks edible.
Yeah, totally.
I think I have an idea who this is supposed to be.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Look like rough on the outside, soft and squishy on the inside.
Yes.
This
Everyone knows who it is. The Thing, yes.
Great job. I have to cut this tomato to make the dish.
Which the Thing would not allow.
It's true. Here, dig me out a knife out of there, will you? The problem is they're all transparent, and so it's very difficult to see.
I've never seen people want spoons more in my entire life.
Great job. All right, my friends. So they really want those spoons.
They really want the spoons.
It's because I said limited edition. So one of my favorite things about heirloom tomatoes and also about the Thing is when he dons the sunnies and you can't tell who he is anymore.
Yeah.
How good is that, right?
I hope that's included in the dish. Put it on the side of the plate, the sunglasses.
What is your ideal disguise?
My ideal disguise, I'm hard to cover. I'm too big really to disguise myself. So I just go with it.
So you don't put on a pair of sunglasses and a trench coat, a la The Thing.
I have very squinty eyes. I don't need sunglasses. My
Very
eyes are
smoky
protected
eyes.
from squinty eyes. They're protected from the sun. I don't need sunglasses. You know what my disguise is my apartment. I stay in there. No one sees me. It's great. It's great.
It's incognito.
It's incognito, yeah.
I love that. I actually refer to my apartment as a lair because I feel like in a lair you do like plotting and stuff. Wait, how many plates do I have here and how many taste testers? Are you guys getting hungry over there?
How did you all become taste testers? What happened?
They
You're all
lost
cool?
the lottery. They're thinking that it's going to get them one step closer to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel. So check this out. You might think it's wild to be using a plastic knife, but, well, obviously there's security concerns. But a serrated blade is actually one of the best things to use when cutting a tomato. Generally, like a normal blade actually kind of like depresses and bruises the tomato and causes it to get super juicy.
Hey, but you know what there's no security concern for?
Tell me.
Spoons.
How about a round of applause for our fantastic security teams keeping us safe. Now, I'll tell you, if you look closely here, you'll see that I'm not really focusing on what I'm doing.
It still looks good.
Really?
Yeah, it
Well,
does.
on food shows, we like to call this rustic. Rustic means that, like, if your grandma, like if Aunt May lost all sorts of, like, hand-eye coordination and cut stuff, or if you're, like, on these food competition shows and you're totally in the weeds.
That's Aunt May is if you asked about my family as a superhero, we're Aunt May, just the whole group of us. We're Aunt May.
Has anybody, what is this thing? I remember it from a kid, but like Aunt May was like the golden oldie. Did anyone see that? She actually got superpowers and was golden.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was good times.
Then there's also kind of like a promiscuous young Aunt May. Does anyone know of that comic?
Wait,
no,
really?
that's too nerdy or it's too weird, maybe.
Okay, so you look like you'd love to do this.
Uh-huh.
All right, do it.
Cut up the tomato? Oh, boy. I'm going to somehow cut my finger off, even with a plastic knife.
This is all the paper towel we had budget for.
Oh, great.
And I just used it. Thank you. It's just the first season, guys. So, until we get that season
I
2,
feel bad whoever's getting mine. This is terrible.
All right, while you're doing that, I'm going to introduce the next ingredient.
All right, cool.
Okay, so the next ingredient, if you look on my Twitter, I actually made last night in my hotel room. And I brought a hot plate from home in order to make this because I wanted to make something that represents transparency.
Okay.
Right? So can you take a guess who this might represent? You're doing a great job, by the way.
It's hard for me to look at the four Fantastic Four characters and cut at the same time.
We're asking you to
But
multitask.
you're saying transparency. I'm thinking that's maybe Sue Storm?
Nailed it!
Oh, phew, thank
You're
God.
doing a fantastic
I don't
job.
want to get my ass kicked later.
All right.
Spoons. Oh, my God.
Spoon them! These poor spoon folks. So, how do you make a transparent ingredient? You use agar-agar. And so agar-agar makes transparent gels. And so my hot plate overheated and nearly set off the smoke alarms, which I was not about ready to do. So I had to use my coffee maker. So I apologize in advance if there's any residual grounds. But I think we achieved total clarification. This looks pretty darn clear. And this has a very unique flavor. Do you mind if I spoon it to you?
Sure. It looks good.
Okay, just take a nibble. What do you taste?
Fantastic. Oh.
What do you taste? Spoons.
It's kind of vinegary.
Yes!
Yes.
Yes. So normally in a caprese salad, you might find some balsamic vinegar, but balsamic vinegar is definitely not translucent. So
That's
we
cool.
used white vinegar, and we also steeped in there some basil. And so basically what that made was like a vinegar basil tea. And it was really exciting. The other cool thing about agar-agar, given that it's a seaweed-derived hydrocolloid, but everyone knew that, is that it actually gelifies at room temperature. So all I had to do was like let it sit, and it turned into gel. And it also has a very high melting point. That person is getting the bonus plate. That must be for you.
We can give some tomato to this plate.
Okay. I should have brought some.
They're looking at what they're getting. They're like, oh.
This is PG. This is PG.
I'm sorry. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
I tell you, that was a fantastic recovery.
You know what? I now know what superhero I'm like. I'm like Deadpool. I shouldn't have been swearing like that. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Just for the record, my friends, agar agar looks like this. You can find it in the health food section of your local superstore, and it's pretty fun. It makes really good vegetarian substitute for gelatin if you're into that sort of thing, and it also has a very unique, wouldn't you say, texture.
Wait, fantastic? Wait, am I supposed to? Is this fantastic or a spoon question?
All of the above. All right. Mike Mitchell.
Yes.
You have an alliterative name.
I do. Very
It's
much
true.
so, yeah.
And generally that implies that that is your alter ego and that therefore you also have superpowers.
Yeah, in some way, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
could have some superpower.
Let's flesh this character out, which I think is a very weird term to use while handling food.
What is my superhero?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, you're funny.
I'm good. You know what? I'm good at sleeping. Maybe I like put my enemies to sleep. Is there something like that? Like a.
But tell us about Doughboys. I mean, I think that you have a super reviewing power.
So, Doughboys is the podcast I do. We review fast food and chain restaurants. I'm also on a new podcast called Bubble, which is out now if you listen to it. But on Doughboys, they call me the Spoon Man for real.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
They call me the Spoon Man, and you know what? That's my superpower, handing out more spoons to people who want them.
I tell you, whoever casted you for this, well, I'm sorry for you, but they did a fantastic job.
They did a fantastic job. Besides my swear slip up,
people are going to think that we're playing golf over here. Thanks for laughing at that.
That was great. I think that was a joke of the day.
But it wasn't fantastic. Just keeping you guys on your toes. All right, so let's introduce our next ingredient. Well, how many ingredients do we have here? We got 3. Let me plate up this cheese, and
Okay.
you tell us more about what you're up to these days.
So right now, I'm on a show called Love that's on Netflix. Season 3 just came out, and you can watch all 3 seasons on there. And then Doughboys is on HeadGum. We review fast food and chain restaurants. I've gained 60 pounds since the podcast started. And Bubble is the new podcast I'm on, which is a sci-fi kind of narrative podcast. It's really great, and that's why I'm down here today. Wait, there's still an element missing. Oh, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to give it away.
By process of elimination, I think you know who's next.
And then, besides that, I'm just down. I just got to Comic-Con last night at midnight, it's great to be here. It's so awesome. I saw Deadpool get out of a lift when I pulled up, which is really cool. So it's been awesome.
I mean, you pretty much nailed it.
I did. Yeah, I'm good to go home now.
So how exciting does this cheese look? I mean, it looks like a blue cheese, but it is not blue cheese. And so in the chef world and the art world, this is one of my favorite things. It's called a trompe-l'oeil. Are you familiar?
It's called a what?
A trompe-l'oeil.
A trompe-l'oeil?
No, we're trying not to make this political, man.
No, I don't want to make this political.
A trompe-l'oeil, it literally means to trick the eye.
Ah, okay.
Right? So if you got this at a table, you'd be like, wow, blue cheese. I didn't sign up for this.
Yes.
But it's actually just cheese that's blue, and it's going to be super mild-mannered.
All right, great.
Right?
I love it, yeah.
Okay. I'm excited about this. All right.
It looks good. I don't know if I did a good mixing job, but it looks good.
No, I think you did, because I think there's an even dispersal of the blueness there.
Okay.
You didn't make the thing totally blue.
All right, good.
Right? Guys, how do you think you did at dispersing the blue? 4!
4! Don't throw it back on us. That's confusing.
Spoon him!
Yeah, spoon that guy. He already got it. I think he has like 3 spoons.
So the next ingredient is a bottle of Italian.
A bottle of Italian. Oh, wow.
That's all it says on there. It's olive oil, but I've tricked out this olive oil.
Oh, all right.
And I've tricked out the olive oil with these good guys.
Oh, man. All right. Those look spicy or hot. Yeah.
We don't like to talk about flames or anything, so we'll just say it's spicy.
Yes, it looks
extremely spicy. So generally my rule of thumb is the smaller the pepper, the more it hurts. And these are Scotch bonnets, and these are no joke.
Oh, wow.
And as a matter of fact, I didn't have any gloves when I was cutting them today, and I was very nervous about touching my eye. So seriously, y'all, be careful. Don't let me touch your eye. Okay? So what I did was I put them in the olive oil. And some of you might say, well, if you just did that last night, has that been enough time to fully infuse? The answer, I don't know. You guys will find out. But one thing that I do know is that capsicum, which is the stuff in here. Oh, my goodness gracious, guys. It's Brian Malarkey, everyone. Brian Malarkey is one of my colleagues on Grocery Games.
Spoon
that man.
Spoon him.
Brian Malarkey, you have like your own line of spoons. Brian Malarkey right there, the very well-dressed one. If you guys are here, he's got some pretty exciting restaurants. Hi, Brian Malarkey's Kids and Family. Right, come eat at Brian Malarkey's restaurant. I might show up there, we'll see. I don't know, can I even get a table there, Brian? For me, anything? Spoon him. So the cool thing about the spicy stuff in here, capsicum, etc., it's actually the stuff in like the, you know, when you have the pain reliever for like your joints. It's actually made out of hot peppers, and that's why it burns you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's where the hot comes from.
That's crazy.
Yeah, wild, right? So
they just put that in the cream, and you put it. Is that true? Like,
yeah.
Well, that's insane.
Yeah, so I'm not saying do this. I would never say do this. We have to have a lot of disclaimers on this show. I almost touched my eye. Yeah, I mean, heat is good for that. It's a natural anti-inflammatory.
These things are scary. I don't like them. I don't like them out here.
Right?
These little peppers. Yeah.
Well, just you wait. So that spicy stuff is really only soluble in fats and alcohol.
Okay.
Which is why it's so refreshing to have an ice-cold glass of milk when you're eating spicy food.
Ah, all right.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So generally the more fat in this, or we like to say lipid in my business because like fat is a no-no word, even though we all know fat is fantastic. That really got him. Just spoon him. Where are my fat fans at? Yes!
Yeah.
Give it up. So yeah, this is a lipid, which means that hopefully there will be some extraction here.
All right, great.
Let's find out. I'm going to give it a little drizz.
All right, yeah, drizz it up. Let's see it.
So
For our kind of a morning caprese salad.
Indeed.
I never had a caprese this early in the morning before.
I'm nervous. I'm going to plug this hole for a little bit. Actually, let's do a chef taste. Do you guys know how like real chefs taste things? It's like this. I'll show you. And it's so you don't have to wash your hands, but it's a great hack when you're in your kitchen. And if you don't want to put your fingers all over other people's food. As we cut tomatoes with our bare hands. Don't worry. We have chef hands. Chef hands notoriously clean, especially at Comic-Con. So this is the way you do it. Oh, man, that's got some heat.
It's got heat?
That's got some heat.
Hit me up.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to touch my eye.
I mean, I think that we'll all be able to handle it, but it creeps up.
Yeah. I feel it. I feel it coming. It is. It's got a little heat.
Right?
And I'm afraid. Now I'm afraid of that spot on my hand for the rest of the day.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't touch your eye. Just find some other fat that doesn't have spicy stuff infused in it and rub it on there.
My hands are fat enough.
So I don't know if you know, but we've met before.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, for real.
When was this?
Late at night on Twitter.
Oh, I hope we weren't in a Twitter battle. Oh, man, that really does kick up. It takes a little bit, but it gets there.
Hi there.
Hi, yeah.
Yeah, so we thought it was Human Torch, but it's almost like the Invisible Woman. You know?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
You didn't see it until it was
Human
there.
Torch, you're out. You don't make it to the plate.
Well, you know, before I dive into the Twitter conversation, one thing that I love about the Invisible Woman and about invisibility in general and how that all relates to food is that smell and taste are actually kind of like our superpower in that they let us see invisible things. Now, obviously, we don't get to see them, but they let us perceive that they're there. So, say, for example, the cheese was rancid. You might not know the cheese was rancid until you smell it or taste it. There might not be any visual clues.
They're scared enough already.
I'm not selling this thing, but don't worry. This is all the freshest of the fresh, I assure you. So that's pretty exciting. I don't think a lot of people think about that. I think a lot of people think that, like, eyes, you know, are the way to go.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so
she knows.
Before we dive into Twitter, I think we can serve this, right? Do I have any other I mean, we put 4 ingredients on the plate, right?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna season this up real quick with some salt packets that I got from the cafeteria back there.
All right, great.
While we're doing
I'll
that,
vamp. Yeah.
how about you give a dramatic reading of our Twitter conversation?
Oh, sure. Where is it? Is it?
It's on the other side of your cheat sheet.
Oh my God.
You didn't even know this was coming, did you?
Oh no, I did not know this was coming. All right, so Justin says to me, at @BDayBoysMitch, which is my Twitter handle, as a hashtag grocery games judge and competitor, I was pumped to hear Randy is a fan. Mike, that's me. This is cool as hell. CC Nick Reiger, who is my co-host. That's incredible. I remember this. That's insane.
I fanboyed.
That's amazing. My character on Love was a cook. Well, he was like a chef. He was a real idiot and really didn't know what to do.
That's not true. He had a lot of aspiration.
He had aspirations, but and then he was making a brisket. But this shows how little I know about food. Is I was basting the brisket and like as an I improvised and I took some of the baste and I put it in my mouth, and they were like, "You can't do that." They're like, "It's raw meat. You're gonna be so sick." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I had no idea.
It was like film brisket.
It was
Show brisket.
it was show brisket. You don't get to eat any of the show food, unlike here, which is great.
Show brisket.
It was show brisket.
I don't think I've ever thought I would ever have to say that.
Show brisket. It's going to become a thing after
Thank
this.
you very
I'm
much.
sure. Yeah.
You know, it's kind of amazing in like TV and food. They actually like hire chefs and stuff to like make show brisket. A lot of my my friends and colleagues do
that's
that.
cool,
And
yeah.
they like make beautiful food that is completely and totally inedible. Right? But
It looks great though.
unlike myself, I make food that's totally edible, and we're about ready to get you some cutlery in order to
yeah.
consume it. And I think it's going to be really exciting.
Oh man, is this ours to try?
Yeah, it is yours to try.
Oh man.
And so you guys should make sure that you get like a total, like complete bite. The perfect bite.
You guys are lucky because this is the one I prepared, so no one got it. You're very lucky.
Did you guys see how I like salt bayed everything?
That was
With a packet from the cafeteria?
that was fantastic. All right, they're still with us.
I tell you, there's actually a reason for this Salt Bay gesture. I mean, definitely adds a little flourish to it. But the reasoning for that is when you distribute the salt from up high, it actually disperses it more evenly around your food.
All right, that makes sense.
You don't have to like bounce it off your elbow. That's never
Yeah.
been a requirement in
I actually don't. I don't need you to. Yeah, I don't want someone to bounce it off their elbow.
It's kind of weird.
It's kind of strange.
It's like
yeah.
a salt layup or something. Not my thing. Did you guys get cutlery over there? Yeah?
All right.
All right, well,
Dig in, everybody.
right? The proof is in the caprese. It really doesn't roll off the tongue. But give it a try. Oh, we didn't get you anything.
All right, are you going to have a bite of it too?
No. Chefs notoriously, it doesn't matter if I like it. It really doesn't. What matters is if you guys like it. Obviously, I'm biased. I created it. It's like my Franklin Richards, you know? But let's see.
I'm going to get each component. Let's see here.
All right, TV judges. We got to get good bites.
It's at least level 7 or above.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it.
And I don't need to shield my taste buds.
Oh, I love it.
It's pretty
Hired. I will try a bite.
Fantastic.
good. Yep.
Thank you. You win.
This is really fantastic.
Wow, really fantastic.
This is fabulously fantastic.
Wow.
Awesomely fantastic.
Man, I tell you what, we got the right people up here. I wish you
Yeah.
could be my critics when I'm on these game shows, like sweating for my life, with a giant red clock that says, you have 27 minutes to cook, prepare, and plate your ridiculous dish.
Yeah, that's not right. I feel like that's not right. Yeah, they should give more time in cooking shows. Make them 3 hours long, I say.
Right? Meanwhile, Garrett's down here, who is one of the producers for Eat the Universe. He's down here, like, gesturing red clock gestures at me that are like, oh my goodness, I only have 5 minutes. And then we, like, cut to my floating head being like, so I only have 5 minutes left. And we won't cut to my floating head.
I gotta say, on Doughboys, we rank everything out of 5 forks.
Oh, wow.
So you can get 0 to 5 forks. This gets 5 forks. It's fantastic. Spoon them. Spoon everybody. Spoon the lot of them. There's
everyone.
no spoons left. We gave you all the spoons.
I'll tell you what, I took a bite, and I'm pleased. And you
It's
know,
good.
what I think I like most about this is when you look at this dish, you might identify it as a caprese. You're going to notice some weirdness in the gel. But what I like about this, and I've actually never made this before, like literally ever. We didn't even do a practice run. I was like, well, it's all literally in one Marvel bag. And so what I like about this is you have a lot of textural juxtaposition here. You have the suppleness of the agar-agar, which actually makes the tomato feel like a little bit more thingy. It's like a little bit tougher because the agar-agar almost melts.
Yeah. It's actually really good.
Yeah, you're into it?
The vinegar, the Sue Storm of the dish is the solidified vinegar.
Right.
It's great. It works really well with the tomato and cheese.
And I think you get maybe you guys can smile and nod, but I think you get a surprising amount of basil in that as well. And I think that the average person will look at this and say, oh, where's the basil? Gabagool. If the average person was just like Italian.
Italian, yeah, like the bottle, yeah.
Exactly. We bottled their soul. Well, this, I believe, I'm looking at the script here, and we have just a few minutes left, and I think this is the time where you just plug relentlessly.
All right, yeah, check out Bubble, the podcast. It's out now. All right, some listeners to it in the audience, yeah. Doughboys podcast, which is another podcast that I do. I'm plugging all podcasts. And Love on Netflix. Check it out.
Wonderful. Everybody, please.
And Mitch Live. Mitch.live is a new show that I'm doing where basically they push me out on stage and I interview guests and I don't know what I'm doing at all. Kind of close to this, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Typecasting. Wonderful. Please give a warm round of applause to our daring taste testers
them.
and
Yeah.
to Mike Mitchell. I think you guys did a fantastic
Four.
job. And I implore you all to please check out Eat the Universe if you liked what you saw here today. Imagine how good it would be with editing. Goodbye, everyone.
Give it
Have a great
up for Justin, too. Come on, everybody.
Spoon 'em.
Spoon everyone.